This changes everything for the Oklahoma City Thunder regarding their future draft picks, as it has now been reported that Paul George is unlikely to participate in training camp for the Philadelphia 76ers. And Joel Embiid, there is some serious concern regarding his knee. It has gotten to the point where I've seen some people say that he should contemplate retiring at this point because that's how bad his body has been. He's struggling to take care of it. He's struggling to stay healthy. You're lucky if you're going to get even 40 games out of him at this point, is what it seems like. And teams with Joel Embiid on their squad, they're not going to be able to compete because he needs to be that primary guy. Because when he's healthy, he is that good of a player, where he is a top 5, top 10 player in the league when he is healthy. The question is, when is he healthy? When is he healthy? All right, that's the big question. It's the same with Paul George. Going to that 76ers team, they had potential to be really solid last year and even make a run at the playoffs. But because of their injuries and because of their age, they weren't able to do it when you had Paul George and Joel Embiid being your two primary guys who are so injury prone in today's NBA. So we're going to break down the injuries that are going on and how they really affect the Thunder's draft picks going forward, especially in the 2026 draft, along with looking at some other picks in the 2027 and 2028 draft that we need to keep our eye on for the future. Before we get into all that, though, quick moment to recognize, as always, that 64% of you guys that are watching these videos are coming back to the channel, but yet you're not subscribed to the channel quite yet. If you enjoy the content that we're putting out and you find yourself coming back on a regular basis and you don't want to miss a single minute of the action, or if you just want to support the channel, the best way to do so is just by hitting that subscribe button. You get to stay up to date on all the stuff we put out here at Thunder Digest, and also helps if you hit that bell notification after you subscribe as well. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about this injury stuff. And as I mentioned, all right, it is just it's a poor showing right now for Philadelphia. If you're a Philadelphia fan, I feel sorry for you because of course, you have the 2019 shot by Kawhi Leonard that sent your team home early, making it where Joel Embiid still has never made a conference finals in his lifetime. And the injuries as well. Yeah, he won MVP in 2023, but after that, he's just gone downhill of his injuries. Paul George, all the injuries now. It's a rough life if you're a Sixers fan. Thankfully, you got the Eagles and you got the Phillies as well, but the 76ers, it's starting to look like that franchise is cursed a little bit. But right here, right around the league, is that the status of Joel Embiid's knee is bad, and Paul George expected to miss the start of 76ers training camp per Brett Siegel. Brett Siegel, he's one of the more trusted guys, I feel like, when you're keeping up with some of this news. Him, of course, Shams as well. All these guys, I just feel like the only one I don't really like is Evan Siddery. So I don't want to start anything there. Just saying, when I look at some of this stuff, I feel like he's not the most trustworthy guy in the world when it comes to this inside information. But Brett Siegel saying this, I think, is relatively, I don't want to say good sign, because if you're a Sixers fan, this is a really bad sign. But for the Thunder, this is you love to see this right here, because the Thunder own their pick. They own their draft pick. All right, they do. We can go ahead and take a look at some of these future picks as well. 2026, I'll have our own, but that's going to be, I don't think that's going to be with us on draft night. If I remember correctly, I think it's a swap of Clippers or Houston, I believe, but also Philly, top 4 protected. And I know I was saying that top 6 protected pick could have converted last year, and it probably should have, but it ended up, becoming a 3rd overall pick. Who knew they were going to jump up 3 spots right there? I thought they were going to drop, as teams around that 6 through 8 range usually do. Then Utah top 8, not going to get that one whatsoever. I'm going to be honest there. Not getting that one. All right. But Clippers unprotected. Houston, I think, is like top 5 protected, but they're going to be playoff team, probably 2nd seed in the West once again. Dallas or Philly swap rights for the 2nd round right there, whichever one's the better pick. 2027 via Denver, top 5 protected. That's also a huge one to look out at, as what's going to happen to the Nuggets after this season. Is Jokic going to take a step back now? What about Jamal Murray? All these other guys on the squad. What's going to happen with them? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Denver going forward right there. So that's an interesting pick I want to keep my eye on, because with how tough the West is getting, how much older that team's getting as well, there's no telling how long Jokic's prime is going to last, along with how good of role players Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray are going to be, those guys, as they're getting older as well. So it could turn into they're a play-in team by then, and that turns into a lottery pick for the Thunder. And then Spurs, top 16 protected, traded for that pick in this year's NBA draft. that should convert. Spurs should be a top 4 seed in the West by then, no doubt about it in my mind. When you have Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, Stephen Castle, all these guys, they should be a really solid team. Luke Cornett as well, who's a phenomenal backup big man in the NBA. Clippers swap rights again in 2027, and Clippers by then should start to see the decline even more as you have Harden, Kawhi, Bradley Beal. They're all going to be in the final year of play in the NBA, more than likely, if not a year or two out after that season, where this Western Conference, like I said, is tough Western Conference. That pick could easily be a lottery pick as well. We could see it this year at the lottery pick as well because of their injury history. They have a solid squad if they can stay healthy. But the question is, like same with the 76ers, can they stay healthy? Can they? Second round, swap rights to Houston, Indiana, or Miami, whichever one's the best to that one. And then Dallas swap rights in 2028. That's unprotected. No telling what's going to go on there. Of course, they have Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving. They're getting older as well, more injury prone now. They do have Cooper Flagg, Derek Lively, who a lot of you guys don't like. I really like Derek Lively. I really like his style of play. I think he's also a genuine good dude. So I really like him. It's just all these guys on that team. I feel like they're a wild card. They can either be really good by then or they can be really bad by then. They're not going to be this median team. It's going to be one or the other when I look at how that Dallas Mavericks team is set up. But, so, talking on the Sixers a little bit, you see it right there. We have their top 4 protected pick in the 2026 draft. And this draft class is supposed to be loaded as well. No like generational talent, but really good players all over the board. I only know 3 for sure. I haven't done a ton of scouting into it yet. I know Darren Peterson, all right, AJ DeBonsa, and Cameron Boozer. Those are 3 guys to look out for. I want to say the Thunder have a chance at one of those 3 guys. That Clippers pick, it's a wild card as well. If they can't stay healthy, they're probably going to end up a playing team as well. And then potentially lottery team that you could see that jump as it's an unprotected swap right, along with having that Sixers pick where now you look at what's going on with Joel Embiid, Paul George, all these other guys on the squad, if they can stay healthy, if they can't, which is seeming like they can't right now. When you look at all these reports regarding Joel Embiid, that could end up being a lottery pick as well for the Thunder. It could. And this is because the pick in last year's draft in 2025, the 2025 draft did not convert to OKC. So it turned into a top 4 protected this year. And if it doesn't convert again, I think it turns into a second round pick in 2027 and 2028 is what it is. So be interesting to see how that plays out. I just think with how the East is shaping up to be, they're not going to be like a horrible team in the East, probably play-in team. So it could still be a lottery pick. But I see the Thunder going away with, 2 draft picks next year. Realistically, I see that happening now with the Clippers and 76ers. So when I look at how the 76ers team is set up, you look at these players, I know it's a little bit zoomed out, but this lineup, you take away Paul George and Joel Embiid because Paul George is probably going to miss 30 games next year. He's rarely ever healthy. All right. He's probably going to play max 60 games, in my opinion. Joel Embiid, if he plays at all, maybe 20 games. I just see it like when you look at everything else on this roster, Quentin Grimes is solid. He is. Okay. Kyle Lowry, this old, he's not really going to do much. Tyrese Maxey, he's a baller. Him and Jerry McCain and VJ Edgecombe. VJ Edgecombe is going to have a ton of pressure put on him because of these injuries with the team. They're going to really need him to step up. And if he doesn't, this is going to spell doom for the Philadelphia 76ers, which then turns into praise for the Oklahoma City Thunder and Sam Presti for getting this pick, as it's going to turn into another lottery pick for the Thunder. They have Andre Drummond. It's just, I look at this team, and it doesn't scream top 5 team in the East to me. It doesn't. I've got Knicks. I've got Cavs. I got Hawks as well with all the moves they made this offseason. I got the Magic. If Giannis stays, I got the Bucks as well. So and then it turns into a battle for that 6th spot between some teams in the Eastern Conference. It's just going to be a dogfight. That's truly what it's going to be. There's no telling what's going to happen here for, the Philadelphia 76ers. It truly rides on if Paul George can stay healthy enough. He has to play at minimum 50 games for the Sixers if they want to secure, a playoff spot. If they I don't know if it's going to be one of those things that they realize that they're not going to be good, at all. Let's say Paul George, Joel Embiid are going to be out for extended time. Paul George is going to miss half the season and Joel Embiid is going to more than likely miss the entire season. Let's say that's a scenario that plays out. Man, it's really tough for me to see Philadelphia playing winning ball in that scenario. I love Tyrese Maxey. I love Jared McCain. All right, VJ Edgecombe, he has a ton of potential as well. But putting all this all this pressure on the rookie to kind of keep them out of the lottery, and get them a playoff spot so they, don't have to worry about their pick being converted to OKC because it'll end up 20th or something overall. That's a lot of pressure. That is a lot of pressure. I'm just saying I see 5 teams right now better than the Philadelphia 76ers. At the moment, because this is considering Joel Embiid going to be out because he's more than likely going to miss substantial time. When you look at how his career is playing out right now, he's more than likely going to miss substantial time. Probably only play 20, 25 games. So that's the case. Taking him out of the equation for the roster, I have the Bucks as a better team. I have the Cavs as a better team. I have the Knicks as a better team. I have the Magic as a better team, and I have the Hawks as a better team with the moves they've made. So I look at it and it's just, this pick is looking really nice right now. Okay, it could change in 2 weeks if Joel Embiid somehow makes a miraculous recovery and Paul George returns to like a 2018, 2017 version of him. So it's like I said, it's interesting just to see how this is going to play out. But that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you personally think is going to happen in Philadelphia and if OKC is going to get this pick or not. So I got for this video. See you guys in the next one.